let me just dive into more details about what portfolio construction strategies is. So simply put, I can break down portfolio construction strategies into three steps. These three steps. Number one, understand your objective, or to be precise, understanding what is financial freedom. So investing is like any other activities you do. If you are not clear about the objective, if you don't know where you want to go, you will never reach there. Okay, I think this statement is quite self-explanatory. We must always have a goal. Okay, but unfortunately, when you actually ask people, why invest? Make money, lo. Make how much? Or the more the merrier. Then this kind of goal, it's so vague, you will never reach there. So later we'll talk about this. I'll definitely give you an example. And this is the first step through portfolio construction strategies. We have to be very clear where we want to go, where we want to be. Okay, next is portfolio allocation. Now, every instrument has its pros and cons. So it's no longer a time whereby we actually ask, should I invest in stocks or should I in bonds? Or should I invest in REITs or should I invest in options? Okay, gone were the days that, this is definitely not the way to do it. So it's really about allocating your assets into different investment instruments, because each and every of them, they have a very specific purposes. They have a very specific benefits, and of course, they have a very specific weak point as well. So we cannot just depend on one, okay, but we actually need to put them together. And the question here is this, how do we allocate among them, okay? And the last part about portfolio construction strategies is actually this thing called create investment systems. Now, if we don't buy low, sell high, then how do we buy? Okay, the answer is creating investment systems. So I will actually give you more precise examples later, and you would have a clearer idea. Okay, so these are the three steps. I'm going to test you later. Again, like I said, I am a trainer. I teach for a living. You have decided to invest 1.5 of your time with me. So please bring something back, hopefully at the very minimum. Okay. This is what you learn for today. Of course, hopefully you learn a lot more. This is what I learned from today. What is portfolio construction strategies? These three steps: understand financial freedom, portfolio allocation, and create investment systems. I'll definitely go and test you later. Okay. I think the best way for me to illustrate is to use myself as an example. Okay, then I would think it's going to be clearer to you. What do we mean by understanding financial freedom? So this is exactly what I did. I sat down my wife some time ago, and we list down this thing called basic expenses. So this is for 2 person on a monthly basis. Also, basically, I sat down my wife and go through. So what are the things that we need to pay for so that we can survive based on current costs? Okay, based on current dollar value. Like, for example, food. To really break it down, each of us need about $20 on food per day. So per month will be times 30 will be 600. For 2 person will be 1,200. Okay, so on and so forth. And we work out that for us to survive, this is just planning to survive. Okay, we need about $3,150, as you can see here. This is based on current costs. And of course, we cannot just survive. We definitely need some luxury items. We need to travel. Would be good if I can do some donations. And yes, would be nice if I can go fine dining now and then. That will probably cost me about additional $800 per month to sustain my current lifestyle. Okay, so I just do my maths. For me to survive, or for me to lead my lifestyle today, I need about $4,000 per month. $4,000 per month. Okay, so I give myself like 20 years. 20 years to sort of achieve financial freedom. Okay, that means on the day I get financial freedom, I have enough passive income. So I just give myself 20 years, which is my retirement age. So of course, 20 years later, the same basket of goods will not cost the same amount. It's going to be more expensive. And considering inflation, 20 years later, okay, this basket of goods that cost me $4,000 today, at an inflation rate of 3%, 20 years later will cost me about 7,149. So this is how I set my objective. So basically, on the day I achieve financial freedom or the day I retire, I should have a passive income of 7,149. Okay, so if I can achieve that, okay, that means I am financially free. I can actually live happily ever after because the income can cover expense. I don't have to worry about, okay, going to find money to find food. So with that, this is how I set my objective. I basically need 1.4 million in investable assets, okay, to generate that $7,000 per month. Okay, this is based on at least a 6% annual payout. Okay, now this is the part whereby I actually need you all to focus a bit. Like I said, come to investment seminar. Okay, you have to look at some numbers. Look at some numbers. Now, how do I actually work out this 1.4? Okay, do me a favor here. Okay, so basically, I believe, okay, my investable assets are money I use for investment. I can generate a 6% annual payout. Think of it this way, I can generate a 6% dividend. Now, can I just trouble someone to punch into the calculator? If I take 6% of 1.4 million, how much will I get? Can I just trouble someone to key in the number, or how many punch a calculator, please? Okay, thank you so much. $84,000. $84,000. So this is, let's say, for example, I have a 1.4 million, give me a dividend of 6%. I actually get $84,000 every year. And again, if I take 84,000 divided by 12, again, can I just trouble someone help me share on the chat? If I take 84,000 divided by 12, what is the number that I'll be getting? 7,000. Thank you so much, Angelia. Okay, so basically, if I have 1.4 million invested, give me 6%, I will be having average of $7,000 per month, okay, as passive income, okay, which is just nice, can cover my expenses, and I am financially free. Okay, so this is how you should set your investment objective. Don't just say, oh, I want more money, more money, more money. Okay, be very clear. Okay, number one, where's the money from? Are you looking for passive income or one lump sum? And if you are like me, you have decided you want to have a passive income, what is the amount to be invested so that you can achieve the passive income? So this is what I mean by understanding financial freedom. This is what I mean by setting investment objective. Okay, so do me this favor. If whatever I said past 5 minutes ago makes sense to you, it's clear, because this is important, please help me type a 1 onto the chat. If you think that, you don't understand what I'm saying, don't mind, just help me type a 0. Okay, so this is a very important point. I realize that for a lot of investors, if you actually bother to go through this exercise, your performance will actually improve a lot. Okay, because very simple logic. If you have no goal, you just invest what? Don't know, just for more money. You end up, you lose it eventually. Okay, very simple fact of life. If you go to university, you have no goal. People study law, you end up getting nothing. Okay, so yes, so thank you so much for your reply. So this is actually very core to investing, and this is what I mean by understanding financial freedom. Okay, so first part of portfolio construction done. So the next thing is about portfolio allocation. So how should you allocate a portfolio? Okay, so this is the part whereby I realize a lot of people, I'm not sure what's the word to use, doing things that don't achieve the objective. Okay, so as mentioned, a lot of people will tell me, yes, I want financial freedom. Then the next thing I will ask, so what are the investment instruments that actually give you passive income? Then be like, actually nothing. All my investments actually into crypto, US stocks. They don't give you passive income. They're like, huh? But I thought you want financial freedom. Okay, so this is what I mean by you must have the correct portfolio allocation to achieve your objective. Okay, I just again show you my example. So obviously the main bulk of my money is actually there to generate passive income. And I actually use different instruments like, for example, CPF. Okay, you may be wondering, CPF is an investment instrument? Definitely. Since all of us need to use CPF, why don't you learn more about it? Okay, maximize it. Okay, and this is definitely a very good investment instrument. Of course, I'm not saying that it's a perfect instrument. It definitely has cons. Okay, but a lot of people who has treated it as an investment instrument, learn how to maximize it, is actually very happy instrument. In fact, that day I just talked to my friend again. He was like, how he wish he can just throw more money into CPF. Okay, there's a cap. So obviously CPF is one of my instrument to gain passive income. And yes, they would only give a regular payout from 65 onwards. But by the way, actually 55 onwards, you can start taking out money. But 65 onwards, then you can actually get a regular payout. So this is definitely one of the instrument. Obviously, I depend a lot on REITs and shares. They are very good at giving me regular dividends. I would envisage that easily 70%, okay, of my passive income on the day retire will come from dividends from these two instruments. And at the same time, I also use annuities to help me generate passive income. Yeah, you will say that, well, annuities, the return is actually not very exciting. I agree with you, 2%, 3%. But one thing is that it's actually more guaranteed. Okay, I'm quite sure you know the REITs, the price can fluctuate. The shares price can fluctuate, but annuities, as long as the insurance company is still there, okay, you are more or less guaranteed to have the passive income. Okay, so again, like I said, it's never about which one is the best. You will need an array. Okay, the question is more of how you actually allocate among them. Each of them has their pros and cons, and each of us is going to be different. Okay, some of you may actually need to take more risks to get the required passive income. You probably may need to put more into shares and REITs. And some of you may actually don't need so much. You can take less risk. Then, of course, you put more into CPF and annuities instrument. Oh, okay. Now, again, we cannot just have instruments that give us passive income. We also need instrument in protection. Okay, like for example, during the COVID period, whereby I still remember on the day when March, that was Feb 2020, when I was told that all my classes are cancelled, can no longer come to physical places. Also, of course, my job is affected. You definitely need some form of protection. Okay, what if you lose your job? What if certain things happen? Also, I actually use this instrument to actually store my what do you call that? My emergency fund. Okay, later I'll actually demonstrate a little bit more. And at the same time, we actually need to put some money in the growth instrument. So for me, it's actually more to accelerate my process. So growth instrument is this. Okay, so of course, it's high risk, high return. The probability that it will perform well is definitely lower than, you know, what we call income instrument here. But the thing here is this: if it does perform well, okay, you definitely can accelerate your wealth accumulation process. You can achieve your investment objective faster. Okay, so in my case, I do invest in growth instruments like, of course, shares, ETFs. I'll get Jimmy to talk a little bit about it later, and even things like crypto. So for me, the mindset here is this: if this one, if it doesn't do well, it actually doesn't matter, because I don't really need to depend on this. I depend on this for my income. But if it does well, okay, I could probably achieve that 7,000 monthly income a lot earlier. And yes, I could achieve my financial freedom faster. So this is what we mean by portfolio allocation. Again, a lot of time it's not about, oh, I should invest in REITs, I shouldn't invest in crypto, or I should invest in ETF, invest in shares. No, it's about how you allocate among them. And more importantly, why? Why you allocate among them? So like, for example, I have people who is like, okay, I already have enough wealth, that particular person. So I will actually tell him, then you shouldn't take risks. You shouldn't even invest in a growth instrument at all. Why take the additional risk if you already have enough? On the contrary, we also have people whereby they are too conservative and said, sorry, you better invest in growth stocks. If not, you can never hit the objective. Okay, by end of the day, it's always a well spread out. Okay, it's just about, you know, how you should allocate among all these instruments. So these are some examples. Obviously, like I said, income generators, these are my main item in the portfolio. I'm actually getting dividends from my stocks and my REITs. So of course, this is an annual dividend you will actually get at the end of the year. Okay, my annuities. So as you can see here, when I am 60 years old, okay, they will actually start paying my annuities. And of course, my CPF, I have the intention to really max it up. And eventually, this is the amount I can get from 65 onwards. 65 onwards. So of course, on the daily basis, I'm actually getting closer to my $7,000 per month of passive income. So hopefully, at the very least, one thing you can sense is here, whatever investment I do is very objective oriented. Why I buy into this one, to buy into that, there is a very clear reason. Okay. And of course, the main reason is I want to have financial freedom. I want a passive income, and I go into the instruments that help me get closer to this objective day by day. Okay, so this is my income portfolio. And just I did mention protection. So a lot of people has been asking how much emergency fund you should keep. So instead of keeping cold hard cash, what I did is I actually keep it under my insurance policy. So again, like I said, it's actually good to understand all these instruments. Okay, then you won't, your money will be actually deployed more efficiently. Okay, so a lot of people didn't know that there is actually a cash value from your life policy, and you can withdraw the cash value without affecting that insurance element. Of course, not all insurance policies are like this. Okay, mine is, and this is the reason why I don't really need to keep additional cash as emergency fund. It's actually here. And of course, it gave me some comfort during the COVID period, but of course, luckily, I actually didn't have to draw that. Okay, in any case, my point here is this: protection is also very important. You cannot assume that the world is always smiling at you all the time. The sun is always shining at you. There are dark periods, and you have to make sure you are adequately protected. Okay, so portfolio allocation, I actually talked about income, I actually talked about protection and growth. The best person.
Okay, so ETF stands for exchange traded funds. So what it does is that pretty much it is very similar to a unit trust. You have a basket of stocks. You have basically a number of stocks that put inside a basket. So you form a basket of stocks. And when you buy into ETF, you are buying into a numbers of companies inside the basket. And that is what exchange traded fund for. It's very similar to unit trust. You know, unit trust is a funds, right? So what you do is that when you invest in unit trust, you actually buy into the funds, and the funds will basically own you know, a number of companies. Now, when you buy into ETF, it's a similar concept. So I will just use a very broad example. In the US market, there's an index called S&P 500. Essentially, this index comprises of 503 companies. And these indexes is being computed on a daily basis. And this is how S&P 500 has performed over the last 3 years. Now, if I would have to stretch this timeline a little bit longer, in fact, over the last 30 years, this S&P 500 will continue to grow on a annualized 11 to 12% basis, all right, in between that. So S&P 500 is one of those index, what we call the passive index, that we can actually invest, that will continue to give you this kind of a return on a yearly basis. So this is what we call the growth, right? So what is inside the S&P 500 now? This is where the basket is. So inside the basket, you have 503 companies. This is a tree map, and each of these square represent the market cap of the company. Now, as you can see from here, the bigger market cap in S&P 500 is Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Meta. And then a smaller one would have Disney, Netflix, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and Procter & Gamble. So all these names, as I'm reading it, I'm sure, it does ring a bell in you, because, you use the products every day, you use their services, perpetually. And since you're using, their service, their product, why not you invest in them, right? Because they continue to grow, they continue to have the dominance in the marketplace. That is how this company has expanded, and we can actually grow together with them. Now, to invest in the US market is a different story. So obviously, you need a lot of in-depth knowledge, research, and that sort of things. But when we invest in S&P 500 as an ETF, we really don't have to bother too much, right? Because you just basically buy into the basket of this ETF, which is consists of these 503 companies, and you basically diversify your risk and let the ETF do the jobs itself, and you continue to enjoy this sort of growth on a year-to-year basis. So I'm going to take an example of this blockchain ETF. So this is an updated chart. If you are following, okay, just before I go on, how many of you are following crypto, specifically Ethereum and Bitcoins? Can I have, if you are, can you please type a 1? If not, can you type a 0? So I just want to have a sense of, how you guys are doing. If you are following cryptos, type a 1. If you're not, type a 0. Okay, nobody follow cryptos here. Yeah? Okay, good. Arvin, oh. Arvin, you're different. Okay, so good that y'all did not follow crypto. Because crypto has a very good run up, and then it has and then it sort of like came down quite a fair bit, and in recent days it sort of like go back up again. Now crypto is a completely different monster, and I'm not going to talk about it, but in case that if any of y'all would say, you know what, I want to invest in crypto or blockchain, but I really do not understand what is going on behind that stuff. Well, ETF is probably one of the easiest way to go in. No, although I do encourage, when you invest in ETF, you need to look at the companies inside the ETF as well. But this chart itself shows, the blockchain ETF, and if I overlay this with Bitcoin BTC price chart, is actually follow this pattern very, very closely, very closely. The only difference is that when you invest in Bitcoins, you are investing in tokens, in coins. Whereas if you invest in blockchain, you're investing in technologies. And these are the companies that you actually invest into. So ETF is sort of like, and this is thematic, right? This is thematic, and this is how you can actually get a piece of the actions if you love to be in the blockchain investment itself. So this is an example of what I'm trying to convey. Okay, so a typical ETF growth portfolio. So of course, just now when Emin was talking about fixed income protections and that sort of things, we're talking about a very big scheme of things. But if you're looking just only an ETF type of a portfolio, because you're not only buying one ETF, right? You probably will buy, a couple of them so that you can form the growth, the growth engine. So this is how I would put it together. All right. So for example, I'll put 20% into Singapore STI ETF, 20% of the money into that. 20% I'll put it into sector investment. That's where I would invest into software type of companies, particularly like, for example, Salesforce, CloudStrike, Cloudflare, that sort of companies, or even cybersecurities. And these are the ETF that actually owns all these holdings. I'll put 20% into this. Pardon me with the Lion Phillips ETF. That's not supposed to be here. My apology for that. Then I have my team investment, which is blockchain ETF, is 30%. Then I have my equity US S&P 500, that will be 30% as well. So this is a very typical type of a growth portfolio that will, drive in between, 8 to 12, or maybe even more, 12 to 15 type of percent kind of portfolios, which will form part of the grand scheme of things, with your fixed income, and to propel your, to help you to accumulate your wealth even faster, by just doing that. So this is projections of how these things will work. So let's say, assuming that we look at a 12% growth per year, with $1,000 per month type of investment on a regular basis. So what I'm trying to say is that every month, you just invest in ETF, in all these ETF, split it accordingly. And we do it every month for 10 years. So your total investment should be in the region of about $150,000, right? Because $1,000 per month, 12 months, that will be 12,000, 10 years will be $120,000. With a 12% growth per year, that projections will go to $221,093. All right. So, sorry, $221,930. So that is basically how we can use, ETF to grow our wealth faster, and using a proper strategy, proper selections of ETF to do that. All right. So,
okay, so we have talked about know your objective, know what to invest. So this is the part we actually talk about how to invest. Now, since the beginning of this session, we have talked about buy low, sell high doesn't work. Buy low, sell doesn't work. So I just want to reiterate the point, because at the very least, I hope that, after this session, I can have this mindset change here. Stop thinking about buy low, sell high. Okay, so this is a very typical story. Everybody wants quick money. Of course, I am also included. Okay, so by the way, I also went to buy that 60 million Toto, and the fact that I'm here, you all know that I didn't win. Yes, everybody wants that, but can you do it or not? Okay, everybody thought that, oh, buy low, sell high, very simple. Buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. So what's so difficult? But in actual fact, what is happening? Market came down and rebound. There's a rebound, seems sustainable. Okay, people are like, oh, quickly buy. Huh? But what? Buy it came down. Oh, okay, I'm not going to trust this rebound. Let's wait a bit more to see. Then after that, the uptrend has continued for so long, should be quite safe right now. And after you buy, and what happened? Oh dear, drop again, quickly sell to cut off. And after you sell, what? Rebound? Quickly buy to recoup my loss, and drop again. So buy or sell. So I'm quite sure, especially for those who actually try to do this, you end up, what you're doing, you're buy high, sell low. So please, yes, I know this is very tempting. Everybody wants this buy low, sell high, but the question is, can you do it? Now, I'm not saying this is an impossible strategy. There's actually some studies done. So we talk about traders. There are actually certain percentage of the traders can achieve this on a regular basis. That means buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. Okay, this is over the internet. If you want, can go and Google about it. Can someone make a guess? Of course, those who know, please share. How many percent of the traders can consistently make money through buy low, sell high? Just make a guess, or either that, if you know the answer, please share. How many percent? Just throw some numbers, please. How many percent can consistently make money from buy low, sell high? Make a guess, anybody, please. 2%, 10%, okay, 1%. Okay, the answer is actually between 1 to 5%, 1 to 5%. So I'm not saying that buy low, sell high is an impossible strategy. You can, but you have to be that 5%. And to be that 5%, I'm quite sure you know, you probably have to spend a lot more time. Like, for example, one of my friends is actually in that 5%, but he's spending like 18 hours per day. 18 hours per day looking at the stock market to be that 5%. So it's a little bit like, Joseph Schooling. I know I like to use this example. Everybody can swim. You can swim, I can swim. But, if you are thinking of getting an Olympic medal by just swimming once per week, no way. But you tell me, yes, you're willing to spend like, swim 3 times per day, then yes, I say go for it, go and become an Olympic champion. So let's be very realistic about it. Are you willing to put in that effort? Okay, if not, okay, a better strategy for a retail investor. How I define retail investor, someone with a day job and probably maximum can spend only like 30 minutes per week, 30 minutes per week to look at investing. That's the retail investors. The better chance for you to invest successfully is what we call create investment systems for regular investing. So this is a rather big topic. I just want to show you one real example. Basically, what is investment systems? You have a step-by-step process for you to select counters and allocate funds for regular investment. Okay, so this is my REITs investment system. Also, basically, like you see just now, I have different or you can put it different instruments, and of course different instruments have slightly different investment system. For my REITs one, I basically just do dollar cost averaging. Okay, I don't do that for my stocks, but for REITs I do dollar cost averaging. So number one is always about regular investing. So number two, at the end of every month, how I select a REIT to invest, it actually went through a mechanical step-by-step process. Okay, so over time, okay, you see me accumulating a REITs portfolio. Yes, I have to agree with you. There are REITs that don't perform, as in the price will drop. Okay, but overall, from a portfolio basis, I can see my REITs portfolio is always growing. So it's like after that, you come up with this process, very mechanical, and slowly but surely, you will have a REITs portfolio giving you regular passive income. Also, this is what investment systems is about. It's never about just trying to buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. Okay, so there you have it. This is portfolio construction strategies. And once again, why are we doing this? If you are interested to really achieve your objective of financial freedom, okay, at least change the mindset. Please stop thinking about buy low, sell high. Please stop thinking of getting rich quick. So you need a proper system, you need a proper strategy. And this strategy we are talking about is portfolio construction strategy comprising of these 3 steps. So hopefully this is clear, or at the very least, after this webinar, at least this is something you can bring back home. And of course, myself and Jimmy, we want to do one step further here. For those who are actually keen to have a portfolio to achieve financial freedom, for those who actually want to join a group, okay, of like-minded people, we are there to offer you this opportunity. Okay, so we have a portfolio construction program, myself and Jimmy. So as you can see here, this is definitely pre-COVID. We are so looking forward to get back there, hopefully by end of the year, fingers crossed. And yes, and our group is getting quite interesting. Yeah. Okay, now, what is this program about? So basically, there is a foundation training element. Okay, there is a course. So of course, the course is titled Practical Portfolio Construction Strategies. I think that's quite obvious. And in this course, we will actually cover, okay, the different investment systems to invest in different instruments. So as you can see here, it made out of 5 main modules. Number 1, set up an investment plan, which is basically help you. This one is help you to understand your financial, what does financial freedom means to you? What is your number? So we will come together and we'll work up the number for you. Then after that, in all these modules, you can see fixed income, stocks, ETF, unit trust, and REITs. So it's really about, as you can see, at the end of the day, you walk away with all the step-by-step selection process, hands-on selection process. Okay, basically, you actually learn the investment systems, different investment systems to actually get into all this instrument in a very methodological level. So of course, in terms of allocation, this is also where you will learn. So how much do I actually go into stocks? How much going to REITs? How much going to grow? So on and so forth. This costs total of 10 solid training hours. Now, we don't believe that just a course alone can really help you. Like I said, this program, why we come out is really hope that we want to help people. So after this course, we want to speak to you. Okay, not just me, myself alone. Two of us, myself and Jimmy, we want to have a 1-hour session with you. Okay, to see how does all these systems that we talk about can apply to you. Every one of us is different. Okay, some of us, you have a greater need for passive income. Some of us actually have more resources right now. Okay, so in the end, how you allocate the assets. So by the way, myself and Jimmy, we have easily done quite a number of this one-to-one, and so far we don't have two allocation exactly the same. Okay, of course, Jimmy, later you can vouch for that. So far, I don't see any two allocation the same. So we are going to sit down with you and to see how does all this learning can apply to your case. And after that, we also don't think it's enough. Okay, there is actually this financial gym element whereby we'll meet once a month. Okay, this one is no longer training. Okay, you can see this as a gathering among friends. So myself and Jimmy, we are just members. Okay, but of course, a lot of time we just facilitate. We discuss some of the instruments. Okay, we basically every month, okay, there is a team. Like for example, this month we talk about REITs. Next month we talk about fixed income. That is a very specific team. And after that, we actually talk about specific instruments. Okay, and we discuss. And of course, current affairs, we will have, like the last one, definitely we talk about the war, so and so forth. Each of us will actually share opinion. We will also get invited speakers. Myself and Jimmy, we definitely don't have all the knowledge. Okay, when there is a certain request for subject matter, we'll get subject matter experts, and we will then play this portfolio game. So this is where you really consolidate your learning. So after every month, we say, okay, now you got this 5,000 virtual dollars. Where will you invest in? And then after that, we actually track the performance. Okay, and at the end of the session, we don't win a prize, but you know, really the learning from this portfolio game is actually very interesting. At least you can see we will talk about results from real life allocation rather than theory. Also, this is the financial gym. And of course, if there's any questions, don't have to wait for the gym. The members will be inside a WhatsApp group, okay, whereby there's a timely sharing and discussion. So like, for example, this was last year when the stock market dropped suddenly. So you have Jimmy come and say, hello, you know, no need to panic. And after that, what must you do? What must you do? Okay, so you will be in very good hands once you're a financial gym. And of course, now a lot of times, not just myself and Jimmy answer the question, we have our members inside sharing their opinion as well. People. Okay, the fees, you will realize that the fees is actually going to be attractive to the point that, you know, how come so cheap? So anyway, let's talk about it. Okay, foundation training 10 hours. So let's just say that I peg it with tuition. Okay, kids tuition. So now kids tuition easily about $60 per hour. So 10 hours, I would say 600. So let's just peg it as that. 1 hour private online session. So by the way, now we are charging $300, not publicly, by special request. We don't do it publicly. But if let's say there's a special request and we agree to it, our current rate is about $300 per hour. And the package will also include 2 months of financial gym free trial, and that is worth $80. So total, the value of this program is $980, as you can see. And for today, during the preview, we are happy to offer it at $680 only. Now, and here is the good news. This program is actually accredited by IBF. Okay, so IBF is a government body, okay, Institute of Banking and Finance, and is eligible for funding, as you can see here. So basically, we want to, you know, make sure that this program is just not any program. We actually get it for accreditation, and we actually successfully got it. So a government body actually accredit our program. And with this accreditation, if let's say, for example, you are a finance and investment professionals, you can apply for the FTS funding. Now, if you are not, you can actually use the skills futures. Okay, so if you go to the SkillsFuture website, okay, myskillsfuture.gov.sg, you key in practical portfolio construction strategies, you can see our program there, and you can use the skills futures for this program. So think about this, 660, if let's say you use your skill futures credit, $180 for this program, which can potentially help you build a portfolio to achieve financial freedom. Do your maths, calculate the ROI. Is it worth it or not? Okay, so our last parting comment here, investing has always been a team sport. Don't be left out. So I'm not sure why a lot of people like to invest alone, no matter how good you are. Okay, if you do it alone, your news is not going to come in as fast. Your analysis is not going to come in as good. You cannot get opinions of others. So I've been quite blessed. Like I said, I've been an investment trainer professionally. And over the years, I've actually created different investment groups for stocks, for real estate, and of course now for portfolio construction. So do join us. Do join us. We have been running this for 4 years. Obviously, we already have a group forming. You'll be joining quite a nice family. And of course, together, we will construct the portfolio together to achieve financial freedom. So join our financial gym today. Now, this is what I strongly encourage you to do right now. Okay, scan this QR code, or either that click on the link that my colleague has already pasted onto the chat. Okay, pasted onto the chat. And of course, you can just register. Now, here's the thing, like I said, because there is a one-to-one element. So this is not another course whereby we want to just mess up. There's a one-to-one element. It's very time-consuming for me and Jimmy. So we will only have 10 packs per run. We want to make sure that we can actually deliver what we promise. Every run will only have 10 packs. Okay, so the course will run online, and the dates are fixed already. As you can see here, these are the dates. 24th to 26th is a Thursday to Saturday. These are the timing. Thursday, Friday will be evening. Saturday will be whole day for 10 packs. And I was just informed that now we only have 8 seats left. For this run, the 8 seats left. So of course, if let's say we come to a good problem of oversubscribe, we will just start another run for you. Okay, but like I said, every run we will cap it at 8. Every run we just cap it at 8. Okay. Okay, here's the thing. We just want to help you in your decision process. Now, if you think that there's a slightest chance that you may sign up, okay, I will strongly urge you to just register today first. So by the way, the registration process won't involve payment at this point in time. You can just register first. If you register today and eventually confirm, I'll be very happy to give you my book, a physical copy of my book. Okay, as you can see here, and it's an autograph copy called Create Wealth Accumulation System to be Financially Stress-Free. So this book, of course, share the same methodology principle as per what we talked about in the portfolio construction strategies. Okay, so to get this book, all you have to do is to register first. And when you register, there's no payment involved. And if you eventually complete the registration, you will actually get the physical copy of the book. Okay, so yes, you have taken the first step, okay, to learn about portfolio construction strategies. You have taken the first step to have a change in mindset of what investment is about. Okay, hopefully you don't stop there. Eventually, with this method, when deployed well, you will be on your way to financial freedom.